If you're considering Thailand as a retirement destination, or many other countries that attract expats to their shores for that matter, go to my website and take a look at my books about living or retiring to another country. The books are a great way to learn about the pros and cons of many countries, so watch this video until the end to see all of my books discounted to just $4.99 on my website.
A few months ago I did a video on the 10 things that I love about living here in Thailand, and I've had a few comments since then asking about the 10 things that I hate about living in Thailand. Will I do a video on things that aren't so good here, things that I hate? Well, there's no things that I hate about living in Thailand. There's things I dislike and there's things that annoy me. But there's nothing that I hate about living here. I think in any country in the world there's going to be things that you don't like. I've lived in lots of countries. I've lived in some beautiful countries. I've lived in the Caribbean, Jamaica. I've lived in Bermuda. I've lived in Australia. I've lived in the Philippines. Many countries. It's fantastic to live. But I still find things that I dislike. That's part of living in a country. Not everything's going to be 100%. Normally the more third worldly countries you go to, the worse it gets. Thankfully Thailand's not a third world country. It's a fantastic country to live and has a lot going for it. But there are things that I dislike and there's things that annoy me. So that's what the video today is going to be about. I'm going to take advantage of this cloudy day again, and I'm going to make a video about things that I dislike. But there's not 10 things that I hate about Thailand. In fact, I think I'll find it hard pressed to find 10 things that I dislike about living in Thailand. Okay, let's get into it.
Let's get into the thing that annoys me the most about living here in Thailand. And that's the thing that I think affects most retirees here. That's the retiree visa system. Now, living in Thailand, you can get a visa for retirement, but it has to be renewed every year, which is tiresome and worrying because you never really know if, when you go to renew it a year later, if your application could be rejected for some reason. By comparison, you can get a retirement visa in Malaysia that lasts you 10 years. I really don't understand why the Thai government don't try to attract more retirees or expats to live here permanently. Unlike tourists who come here for a week or two or sometimes a month or so, expat retirees live here 52 weeks of the year, and we spend big. We spend everything that we have coming into the country. We spend on rent or buying a house or buying a vehicle, paying electric bills, going out, and we do contribute a lot to the Thai economy. And I think most Thai people love us being here as a retiree, not just as a tourist. I'm not sure if Thailand love the tourists coming here as much as they love the retirees. Actually, I think they prefer retirees because we integrate and we tend to become part of the community, not just fly in and fly out. Another thing I dislike about the Thailand retirement visa system is the 90-day report that you have to put in. Every 90 days I've got to go down to the immigration and put in a report to tell them that I haven't moved. It's more or less to tell them where you are, and I can understand that. I mean, I don't like it, but I can understand if that's what they want to know where I am. But why not just when you move? Why have to tell them every 90 days that I'm still living in the same place that I lived in 90 days ago? And that's quite annoying, and it's needless. I just don't see the point of it. You can do it online, but most of the time the system is down or there's a malfunction. I did it once. I did it and I printed out my receipt, and when I went 90 days later to do my report again, they said they hadn't received my previous 90-day report and I was fined. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I'm very happy that Thailand has let me come into their country to live as a retiree. All I'm saying is I think the country would be a lot better off financially if they allowed more retirees from around the world who would like to live in Thailand to enter the country and stay here without so much paperwork. Number 2 on my list of things that annoy me a little would be the driving habits of people in Thailand. And that's not just Thai people, that's Farang who come over here on holidays as well, or even Farang who live here. They adopt their rules, and as you have to, you can't drive like you do in your own country if you live in Thailand. As they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. But when in Thailand, you don't do as the Thai people do, but you do have to change your driving habits a little to make sure that you can get from A to B. In 2025, 22,000 people died on the roads in Thailand, but there was more than that because they only report the people who die at the actual scene of the accident, not the people who may die afterwards in hospital of their injuries. So the actual number could be closer to 30,000 deaths every year. By comparison, the UK, which has a similar population as Thailand, had 1,300 traffic-related deaths in 2021, which would be 28,000 people less than died on the roads in Thailand. So that brings me to another pet dislike of mine here in Thailand, and that is dual pricing. Now, I don't know if you've heard of this before, but dual pricing is quite rife here in the Land of Smiles, where Farang will get charged more than a Thai person will. This can be in hospitals and doctors, dentists, national parks, shops, anywhere where tourists are. You'll normally pay a higher price than a Thai person will, and it's very annoying for people who live here. I do understand that Thai people don't have as much money as a lot of Farangs, but it still is wrong. You couldn't do that in many other countries in the world. You can't charge more for one race than you do for another. It's called racism, but unfortunately that happens here all the time, and it's quite annoying. But as I said earlier, it's still not annoying enough for me to say that I hate it, but I won't pay it. So if I go somewhere and they say it's the lady I'm with is free and I have to pay, then I don't go in. And that's not being mean, that is my principle, that I don't agree with paying just because of the colour of my skin. Next on my list is pollution. Thailand's main air pollution contributors are power plants, factories, motor vehicles, forest fires and agricultural burning. The air pollution in Bangkok is particularly bad, with the primary source of their air pollution coming from vehicles in the city and its surrounding areas. Bangkok has 10 million registered vehicles, and those numbers are increasing by 700 additional cars and 400 motorbikes every day. While in northern Thailand, particularly around the Chiang Mai area, they have problems with air pollution for a different reason. where local farmers throughout northern Thailand continued the practice of slash and burn between late February and early April each year. Post-harvest rice and cornfields are set alight to clear the land of the remains of the previous season's crops, and the resultant smoke, haze and dust and debris creates widespread air pollution in and around Chiang Mai and the surrounding areas. It's not just air pollution that annoys me. Thailand is one of the 5 biggest consumers of plastic in the world. The Thailand Development Research Institute reported that Thailand was the 10th biggest dumper of plastic waste into the seas, with about 10 million tonnes of it entering the ocean each year, and a lot of that washing up on the shores and beaches around the country. It wasn't so bad in tourist areas, as most beachside hotels, bars and restaurants cleaned the areas outside of their businesses daily, keeping the beaches in pristine condition. So that brings me to the last thing on my list, which is the Thai obsession with paperwork. Everything you want to do usually amounts in reams of paperwork, whether it's opening a bank account, getting a driving license, applying for a visa, or many other normal everyday routines. For some reason, computers are not always a big part of everyday business life here in Thailand, and you have to fill in forms. Even when computers are used, the information can be lost or not put into the system properly. There are a few other things that I don't like about living here, such as corruption, that is particularly evident within politics, the police force, or within many people who are in positions of authority. But I'm not going to open up that particular can of worms, as corruption rarely affects me. Everyone is different and may have other issues with living in Thailand. In fact, I know people who hate Thailand and can't understand why I choose to live here. But for me, Thailand ticks most of the boxes for my life in retirement. So there you have it. I couldn't find 10 things that I dislike about living in Thailand, but I managed to find 5. But none of those 5 dislikes are big problems, and they're problems that I can easily live with if it means that I can spend my retirement years here.